Okay, hello everyone and welcome to 2024. I know you're probably either already started your classes or getting your classes ready. I'm working on agendas and syllabus and all that kind of good stuff. My classes start actually next week. So it's a busy time for all of us. We have Annie who is online with us and will be talking with us from providing some updates from the PMO. And then we have three presenters, and if we have all three presenters, we will ask them to present in the order that we have them listed. So Deep, and then Jason and Michael. And then we have Jared for Competency Corner, and I know we've all learned a lot from these brief presentations. So if the presenters can take about 10 minutes and discuss the highlights of your schools, and then Gretchen will come on and talk to us about next month. And then Yair will put us all in our breakout sessions. So, Yair, anything else that we should start with?
No, thank you. Hand it over.
Okay, all right. Annie, we are ready for you to talk with us, please.
Okay. Well, hi, everybody. Happy New Year. Just wanted to announce that the CAE PMO office is growing, and we have 2 new employees that joined our group. So Michelle Eisenhart is going to be the new point of contact for the CO designation. And then we also have Angie Painter, who will be supporting the CD designation. We also sent a message out last month about a new alias for our office. I'm going to put that in the chat. It's a new UWE alias. So if you have any questions, feel free to use that alias to make sure that we all get your message. And then finally, just a reminder about the annual report requirement. So that is due January 30th via the Qualtrics survey link. So if you have any questions, just reach out to us and we will assist you with any needs that you have.
Okay, Annie, thank you very much. And welcome. I see that we have at least one of the new PMO individuals online with us as well today. So thank you for joining us. And you're welcome every second Tuesday. We always enjoy updates from the PMO office. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop. Has anyone seen Deep on the line yet?
No.
Okay, all right. So Jason, we're gonna ask you, I'm gonna stop the share on my screen and then ask you to share your screen, please.
Not a problem. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
We can see it. Thank you.
Awesome. So thanks everyone for inviting me. But I was able to fill in last minute a couple days ago. I know I was supposed to speak a few months ago, but it didn't work out. But I'm glad to talk about our program. We were recently designated a Center of Academic Excellence in December of 2022. And enjoy being a Center of Academic Excellence as we speak. So let me talk a little bit about our program. So our program of study is a BS in cyber criminology and security studies with a concentration in cybercrime. So it's actually a unique program is that we fall in the School of Criminology and Security Studies. It's the only, as being, we just got designated a little over a year ago. We don't have any other programs of study, but our program of study actually focuses on investigate from the NICE cybersecurity network, specifically cyber investigations and digital forensics. My expertise, as well as one of the main focus of the program, is digital forensics, including mobile, computer, video, vehicle, as well as we bring a unique piece in behavioral analysis. What may be your next POS? Well, it's a little too early to tell at this point. However, we have a great computer science program at our university, although it falls in a different college. But for now, we don't have any other plans to add another POS. So what are your research projects or research interests? So mine specifically include the digital forensics realm. I specialize in mobile, computer, video, and vehicle. And then our other faculty member within the program focuses on behavioral analysis. So that's our main research interests. What are our specialties and subject matter expertise? So we have a unique program, is that we provide internal investigative internships for our students. We just launched our fourth one. We're launching our fourth one this spring. Our cream of the crop is our high-tech crime unit. I'll talk here in a minute, but we got a grant from the state of Indiana to run one of 10 high-tech crime units partnering with the local prosecutor's office. So our students are actually sworn-in investigators with the local prosecutor's office. They're doing real-world digital forensics, and it's actually a paid internships. Our other internships are, for academic credit, but most of the students want to be in high-tech crime unit, will work in one of the other ones, if not multiple ones. Our jail intelligence unit, so these students are actually listening to jail calls for local detectives, trying to get intel on criminals. Our human trafficking unit, so this is a new investigative unit that we are starting, where students will actually be interns in investigating intel to try to track down human trafficking victims and suspects, as well as our cold case unit is our fourth one. So these students are actually working real world case to try to solve some of the cold cases here locally. What will our next unit be? We're hoping to have some sort of behavioral analysis unit within our program to give more students more opportunity to work one of our investigators. Which grants? So, in 2021, myself and our program, as well as local prosecutor office, partnered and awarded a $300,000 a year, so $600,000 total for 2022 and 2023. What that grant allowed us to do was establish a high-tech crime unit. So there's 92 counties in Indiana. We serve, our unit serves 8 counties, 25 law enforcement agencies. So like I said, our students actually are sworn in investigators. They have badges, and they're actually doing digital forensics while they are still in school. And we recently, found out a couple of months ago that we were renewed. So it's actually going to continue for the next 2 years because of the success of the program. Another grant that we were awarded was a $50,000 grant from nonprofit organization called Operation Underground Railroad to fund new hardware for our cold case unit and human trafficking unit to allow students to get that type of investigative skills. One thing that we haven't done, let's see what's called. One thing that we haven't done that we would like to do in the future is collaborate more with any other CAE school on grants, specifically related to digital forensics. So, we're open to talking to any CAEs that are looking to partner with other CAE schools. And like I said, we don't, currently partner or support other CA schools, but this is one thing, we'd love to, start doing now that we've been in existence for a year, gotten established. So we'd love to do that. Like I said, what gaps do we have? Well, our biggest gap is researching grants with other CAE schools. So, it's a matter of, being able to, reach out and, work with other departments, other programs, other schools to collaborate more on research and grants. Same thing here, so not much different. What else? Oh, I think that's it.
Okay, Jason, thank you. I can see your students being really excited about that work and what they're able to learn in your program. So thank you very much. Okay.
I'm going to present.
Yeah, okay. Michael, whenever you are ready, you can share your screen. We're starting to see it.
All right, let me do that again. First of all, it's very appropriate that I'm presenting after him. I actually have a degree from Indiana State myself, and may have received a little bit of Indiana State swag for Christmas this year. So small world.
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, my name is Michael Ramage, and I am the director of the Cyber Education Research Center at Murray State University. We are the Murray State has a program. Our program of study is cyber security and network management. I'm the director of our research center. Randall Joyce, who's on as well, is the coordinator of our academic program, and we have really tag teamed our program and our outreach over the years. We have been a CAE since 2019, but I also don't want to let that diminish. We actually received a scholarship for service grant back in 2003 that was intended to help us become a CAE. And the unfortunate thing is that I left. I got the grant. It was in partnership with a few other schools, and then I left and left for a few years. And finally, in 2019, we did it, but we actually taught our first cybersecurity course at Murray State in 2001. So we've been teaching cybersecurity for a long time. Our program of study is cybersecurity network management. It is housed in our School of Engineering. In our program, it has 3 tracks that students can choose. There's cybersecurity and digital forensics, which is that track is what we have designated for CAE. But they also can choose from cloud and system administration or wireless communication tracks as well if they don't want to focus on cybersecurity. Although, frankly, in our core, everybody's going to get a little bit of cybersecurity anyway. Our next program of study will likely be our master's program. So up at the top is what I just talked about. Our master's program we have in cybersecurity management. It will likely be our next program of study. Currently, it resides. We had a great thought process in this. In 1998, the Commonwealth of Kentucky passed House Bill 1, and it created programs of distinction at each of the regional universities. And this is our program of distinction for Murray State. We had our bachelor's program in the College of Science in what's now the School of Engineering, and our master's program was put in the College of Business, which is where our computer information systems, computer science programs live. So they're actually in different colleges, which makes things really complicated. But it will likely be our next program of study that we do, and actually making plans for that as well. We also offer cybersecurity risk management certificate at our graduate level and a new cybersecurity analyst certificate at our undergraduate level, and working through an industrial cybersecurity certificate as well. And I'll talk about that in a second. Our research interest, I really put our research interest in a couple of buckets. One is, as the director of our center, one of the things that we're tasked with from the Commonwealth is to help our region and our Commonwealth. Is what can we do to help grow our region and help grow our state? And so I really put our interest in a couple of buckets. One is how can we serve the businesses and in the industry and the governments in our area. We're based in Murray, Kentucky, far western Kentucky. We're actually closer to Nashville, about 2 hours, than we are from Louisville, which is about 3 hours. So we're in a pretty rural area for us, but we have a lot of tech, and we have a lot of MSPs in our area. So it's how do we support them? How do we support our governments that are really struggling? And also how do we support our K-12 folks? Because there's a lot of people that want tech, but they don't have the ability to teach it or the funding to teach it. And frankly, we probably all know this, after COVID, it even got worse. Now it's like, do I help kids learn to read that fell behind, or do I hire a computer teacher? Well, I mean, I can't with a straight face say hire a computer teacher. So we work with Pisces on providing security support for local governments. We actually have been doing some mobile phone forensics as well. If I didn't have my own breakout room, I'd be joining Jason to talk more about how we could work together with them. And it's really interesting. Let me just say, if you have a cell phone that you're getting rid of, bust it into a million pieces. Hopefully you all know that, but there is no phone that we have found that doesn't have some data on it. So it's really dangerous. And then the last piece is that operation technology, cyber physical, industrial control area, that security piece. Western Kentucky, we're part of the Tennessee Valley Authority footprint, and there's a couple dams, so power's cheap, and we get a lot of large plants because of that. And their security is something that we've been working on as well. And part of our area of expertise is that we have our security folks, we have our cloud and system administration folks that are experts in those areas, wireless as well. But being housed in the School of Engineering at Murray State is unique. What I've learned is unique to a lot of programs. So we have the cybersecurity, we have the networking expertise, but we sit across the hall from people that have the industrial control expertise. So what we have started to find is some of that blend of, I mean, critical infrastructure is a target, water systems, power systems. The folks that are in our greater state region really need help with that. Matter of fact, I was talking to our state emergency management folks about that yesterday. Is how do we help provide some of that support? And that is something that I think is unique for us, that we're going to try to figure out how to better grow that. On the grant side, we received back in, we found out in October, apparently we actually got the award in September. A 3-year grant for $1.5 million to create a cybersecurity analyst workforce program for, it's for the Delta Regional Authority footprint of Kentucky. If those that are in the Appalachian area know the ARC, this is kind of the ARC, but for the Mississippi Delta. We will have a 4-course sequence, which wraps up with our which is intended to be non-traditional students, retraining folks to be cybersecurity analysts, and it wraps up with them actually serving as an internship, paid internship as a security analyst, either well, for one of our many MSPs that we have in our area. We have agreements with them to do that. The second grant that we have currently been working on is the Commonwealth of Kentucky has a regional entrepreneurship and innovation program, and we have been supporting the western region of Kentucky's effort to grow tech companies in our footprint. So it's funding specifically geared to growing tech-based businesses. And the reason that we do that, and as I say that, it doesn't sound like something that we should be doing, but if you ask me, what do we teach? We teach students to plan, design, build, manage, and secure networks. That's what we do. That's our core function. But as I talk to our alumni, there is a huge number of our alumni that work in startups or that have started a business. Unfortunately, some of those, there's one person in particular I'm thinking of that had to move to Tampa because that's where their capital was. We want to make sure that for those of our alums that want to do that in Kentucky, that they have the support for them to do that. So that's something that it doesn't take up a lot of my time, but something that we certainly support. Future focus, there's really a couple of different focuses. One is the K-12 pipeline. Our teachers beg me to help them, and we host, I'll show it on the next slide, or maybe one after, some stuff for high school students. That's an important piece. That cyber physical collaboration, industrial control planning. And then the last, something that we have been getting more and more involved is that local governments across Kentucky and I would say across all of our states, don't know how to assess their risk, don't know how to plan for security. They also don't know how to respond to an incident. And we're trying to formalize may be a strong term, but to coordinate some of that effort across the Commonwealth. So that's something that we have been working on and trying to collaborate on. And I'll add that definitely something interested in mobile for forensics as well. How do we support other CAEs? One of the things that we were asked to do back in 1998 when our program started was to work with community colleges across the Commonwealth in particular, but also with other states. And so since 2002, we have had an articulation agreement with community colleges so that if you finish your 2-year degree in a CIT program, computer information technology program, which there are 2 of those that are CAEs in Kentucky, then you can transfer into our program, all credits counting towards degree completion. So that is something that we have done for a long, long time. If you choose, one of the great things that Kentucky has done, there's some things that I'm not proud of Kentucky for, but one thing I am proud of Kentucky for is that we have one community college system, one umbrella. So if you have an articulation agreement or transfer agreement with KCTCS, Kentucky Community Technical College System, it applies to all campuses across Kentucky. So we have that. If you're on the other side of the state, you're probably not coming to Murray. So we offer our years 3 and 4 online as well to support them in that. That's something that we've been doing for a long time. We collaborate with other universities on conferences and other things as well, but that's something I wanted to highlight. Where can we, what do we need to change, enhance, gaps we have? I'll just say program efficiencies. I would say that a lot of you are probably in this boat. We had our largest freshman class ever last year. We had one of the largest freshman class ever the year before. We're trying to better integrate our masters, doing a 4+1, seeing where we can overlap faculty, classroom lab optimization. We have challenges with because we're growing faster than our space will allow. So I'm not sitting here complaining about it, but it's certainly a problem. So that's something that we have certainly been working on. Supporting local government. If you have any examples of how your schools have done that in your states, and how you got liability coverage, my lawyer, our campus lawyer, and I have a lot of conversations, and they usually don't go the way I want. because of liability, and indemnification is certainly his favorite word. But how to do that? Because we want to support our local governments and utilize our students who are really smart to do that. But how to do that is certainly a challenge. Cyber competitions, we have students that compete, but not as much as I would like for them to. So how do we get them excited about it? I mean, that's just a challenge that we've had. And it's certainly open to any research collaboration as well. And the last thing that I'll say, and I'm not going to talk about all these different pictures, but I just wanted to throw a bunch of stuff up on this slide to say, we do a lot of outreach, and we do a lot of outreach because we're in a rural area, but we have a lot of tech, and frankly, we've been around now 20 years. So we have a lot of graduates that have, that are in positions of influence. And so they want us to support them. And at the same time, we have a lot of residents that don't know anything about anything. So we have this different levels of knowledge, and we're trying to help them all. So we do a lot. The picture of the folks that you see is our Security Matters conference that we have each spring, actually. Jason Minar, who's actually one of our graduates, is at CAE down in Miami, and he came up. He serves on one of our advisory boards, and he came up and shared at our last spring. But we have a lot of these things because our industry wants it. We also know, frankly, from a recruitment standpoint, if we're going to have students, we have to prioritize high schools as well. And we do a thing that's called Tech Mania, where we just bring students in, give them some tasks to do, but not teach them anything. Let them just learn trial and error, and students absolutely love it. So there's a lot that we do there as well. And I'm proud of all the work that we do on outreach, whether it's to industry, to government, to K-12, to our alums. We have really good relationships with our alumni. I am proud of that, but I also know there's a lot more to do and not enough hours in the day. So anyway, I'll stop with that.
Okay, Michael,
Thank you.
thank you very much. I see you've already stopped your share. We're going to go ahead and move on with our next presenter, which is going to be Jared, talking from a Competency Corner perspective. So Jared, if you can go ahead and share your screen, please.
Sure. Hello, everyone. Glad to be here. So I'm new to this community, and so I'm excited to be here and to get more involved. So I can introduce myself a little bit. I work at Metropolitan Community College in Omaha, Nebraska. We have 5 campuses spread across 4 counties, so we're pretty spread out. I teach cybersecurity courses, Linux, and networking courses. And I'm also the advisor to the Ethical Hacking Club student club. So that's a little bit about me. A little bit about Metro. We are a big commuter college. We are on the quarter system. We have a slightly higher average student age, I think. A lot of part-time students, but a very low student to faculty ratio. Our program of study, our cybersecurity degree, falls under our information technology department, and which is the largest non-general ed prefix at the college. I think we're only second to math, and sometimes we actually beat out math. And so our cybersecurity program is actually the largest of the information technology program, which also includes, computer science, data science, web design, networking, system administration, and things like that. And cybersecurity is the largest of those programs. I was asked to talk a little bit about some local employers that we have, being kind of in the heart of the country here in the Midwest. We are We do have Union Pacific, which is their national corporate headquarters is here in Omaha. And our students just toured their cybersecurity range recently. So they're a very big employer and influence out here. And I have a former student that works there as well. I won't go through a list of all of these. You can read those as well. We being in Omaha, though, obviously this is Warren Buffett country, so Berkshire Hathaway is a big influence out here as well, and a large employer. We do also have an Air Force base nearby, Offutt Air Force Base, which is a large employer as well, which employs a lot of civilian and military people in the area. And we seem to have quite a few data centers around, particularly Google and Facebook are very prominent, but we have dozens of other data centers which are around us. Google and Facebook are actually building multiple data centers in this area as well. And they're continuing to build out here and grow and establish out here as well. So we do have a lot of employers and tech and cyber opportunities for our students in this area. I was asked to explain a little bit of what motivated me to become a competency trainer. To be honest, it was ignorance. I am, as I mentioned, I'm new to this all and this community, and was provided the opportunity to become a trainer. And I didn't really know what I was getting into, but there was a pre-meeting which kind of explained what it meant to be a trainer and what we'd actually be doing. And so I bought into that, I guess. And I felt like since I am new, I needed something to hook onto to feel part of the community and to start integrating myself into that. And I saw this as a great opportunity to be able to do that. So I appreciate that. So I wanted to share one competency statement. And so here's an example of an assignment that we may have that we tie a competency statement to. So this is a brief description of something that we do in my networks attack and intrusions course, where students do multiple Nmap scans on a controlled network, of course, and are basically fingerprinting, identifying operating systems, protocols, software services, other data that they can find and analyze as part of those scans. That's the essence of the assignment. It's done at the beginning of the course to start introducing some reconnaissance and fingerprinting. And so one of the statements which we developed is here. This is the competency statement. And we tried, I'm more familiar with the NICE framework. So that's what I'm basing and designing this statement around. And so here's the statement. I'll read it out. The second year cybersecurity students in network and attacks and intrusion, which is the actual course that they're taking, they've already completed network essentials and operating systems. So they have some background and familiarity with those topics. Excuse me, in the role of a cyber defense analyst. And that comes directly from the NICE framework, which also then has the following task in it. And I have that task identified there. Identify network mapping and operation system fingerprinting activities, T0299. Then we add a little bit more information. This includes identifying operating systems, protocols, software services, and other significant data necessary for network analysis and vulnerability assessment. And so that's the sum of the statement there, that we are using and identifying those tasks. Now, in being trained to come up with these competency statements, I guess as an educator, I'm always trying to simplify and break down and understand what the requirements are for these. And so at our training, I developed 3 slides as introductory type of slides. to help bring across these requirements that we're going to be having for competency statements within our designation requirements. And so that's all these slides are. They are just introductory slides. There's 3 slides that I threw together. I kind of just brought it up and they said, throw something together. And so I did, to hopefully show and demonstrate in the trainings, the objectives. At least this is one of the objectives that we're trying to achieve within the training. And so hopefully these 3 slides help really solidify these objectives of being compliant. So our objective is to identify 10 competencies that we can designate over 3 work roles over our program of study. And we need to do that over 4 years. Okay. To me, that's not really a big task or ask. And I'll kind of explain why in some of these slides to introduce an approach that can be taken to achieve this. Right. So the expectation here is that really there doesn't need to be any type of change to curriculum. Pretty much use what you already have. That assignment that I demonstrated and gave a description of, I already had that. And so now I just had to construct that competency statement to that assignment, which is one approach. There are multiple approaches to this. But it's really nice and easy to start with what you already have instead of having to build things from the ground up. And then choose key activities from your program of study to be able to achieve this. And so the last slide here, and I know there are some typos in here. I was going to fix it, but they're not text. They're actually part of the image. So I apologize for that. As just kind of a visual on how maybe you can approach that. So this is just a very simple graph which shows a few courses you may have in your program of study. And then through that, the courses that you have over your program of study, you can identify certain competencies, which can be one aspect of that course. And match key objectives and activities that you have. You pick what those are and you tie them then to a framework, either the DoD or the NICE framework as I did in my example. And you don't have to find competencies in every course, or you can find multiple competencies within a single course. It's really up to you on how you want to do that. So anyway, those were the 3 slides that I developed. Again, they need a little tweaking there, particularly there and there, to just kind of really visualize and understand just from the onset of what the objectives are and what some of these requirements will be. And that's really all I had for you. Thank you very much.
Okay, Jared, thank you very much. I'm sure everyone is starting to realize we're hearing a lot about competency and competency statements and what we need to have for our re-designations in the future. So I know in my university, we're creating some new classes and we want to make sure that we're very aware of competencies and what we need to include and what we need to be able to provide, for our redesignation. So those are really important topics. And I know Zoe and her team and others who have presented have really provided some valuable information. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try to share my screen. And then Gretchen will ask you to come and talk about our next presenters, about our next month, please.
Great. Thanks, Sandra. And thank you all for all that great information. I know I'm going to have a really good time in the breakout rooms today. I am very excited to get back started on this semester. And I do appreciate upfront those of you that jumped in at the last minute to cover our 2 open slots that we have, but it looks like we're booked up solid now through May. So next month we've got Bosher Paris Community College. We have the College of Western Idaho, and Purdue Global is going to present for us. So we're very excited. If you are interested and you haven't presented yet, again, please email me, gbliss@uccs.edu. I'll put that in the chat here. And just know that we are right now scheduled all the way out till January of next year. So I do reach out periodically because people change and you guys move around and you do different things. So if I do reach out to you with a change in your organization, please let us know if someone else is going to be presenting. So thank you all so much for all your participation in this. We appreciate it. Over to you, Sandra.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Pierre, here's our slide reminder of, and I know you've maybe put some of this in the chat already, but back to you, Pierre.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Just a reminder to everyone, we're going to be stopping the recording and activating the breakout rooms. Those breakout rooms will be named based on the presenters. And please make sure that if you're a presenter, you join that breakout room. For everyone else, please be aware that there will be an email coming up from my email account, levyyy@nova.edu, with a survey for the effectiveness of our sessions are right at the end. And we will probably end around 3:30. So I'm gonna stop the recording and activate the breakout rooms. Hold on.
Thanks, Pierre.